All right, hello and welcome back to a session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through, and we've got our trusty hound dog friend behind the fence for some entertainment today. So we'll just bear with it. Enjoy the neighborhood howls. Go ahead, we're gonna come on down to hands and knees to begin. We got some core work on the floor today. So as normal, we'll stretch out those forearms and then we'll get started. So palms down, fingers pointing towards you. Pull the belly in and just gently lean back here. As you lean back, get a nice stretch there. And then as you come back forward, you're going to turn the hands so the fingers interlace. And then we'll do our circular patterns, 2 to 3 circles each way. Good. And then reverse directions when you're ready. Take it the other direction. Circling around. Very good. From here, holding most of the weight in the legs, so readjust the legs as needed. Turn the palms up and just ever so gently stretch the back sides of the forearms. There you go. And go ahead and come on off into a kneeling position. Shake out those wrists. We're going to do our first series of breathing from kneeling. So if you're not comfortable here, you can also do this standing. Otherwise, we're going to take hands onto the small of your back, pull the shoulders back. And from here, we're going to gently inhale, arching the back, engage the glutes, turn your head up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, roll the shoulders forward, pull the chin into the chest. It's not a big movement here, just opening through the chest. Let's go 3 cycles of breathing in this position. Engage the glutes, arching back on the inhale and rounding forward, chin to the chest on the exhale. One more time. Breathe in, open, lift the chest, and exhale, roll the shoulders forward, chin to the chest, rounding forward just a little bit. Very good. If your back does well in that position, we're going to bring the arms up behind the head. Similar idea from there. So we'll exhale first. Gently blow the air out, tuck the arms in, pull the elbows together, bowing down. And then inhale. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Squeeze the glutes as you lift the chest towards the sky. Turn the eyes towards the sky. Open the elbows. Twice more there. Exhale, pull it all forward. Draw the belly button in. Inhale, fire the glutes. Long through the spine as you gently lean back and open the head and heart to the sky. Last time. Exhale, roll forward. Inhale, lift and open. Good. On this last exhale, go ahead and just come on back to all fours. Come into hands and knees, and we'll go 3 cycles of a cat-cow. So similar idea. Now we're going to exhale, push through the shoulders, pull the chin in towards the chest, and inhale, gently arch. 3 to 5 cycles here. And then when you finish, we'll take it back into child's position. A couple more. Very nice. Gently pushing through that mid back, pull that chin into the chest. I'm going to take it through one more cycle here, pulling the shoulders back, gentle arch, and pushing through that mid back. Splay the fingers nice and wide, pull the belly in towards the spine. And then on the next one, toes together, knees divide, reach those arms out and drop it back into child's position, lowering the head down. And nice, smooth, cleansing breaths. As you breathe in, think about sending the air to the outer aspects of your rib cage. And as you exhale, just lower yourself a little closer to the ground. 2 more breaths. And rest there. Very good. All right, we're going to go ahead and come onto your side. Let's come onto your left side. We're going to get ready to start our first series. We're doing our side plank dip into the leg lift. And we're going to have a 1:15 longer session here to practice this. So pull the elbow underneath the shoulder. All right, so legs are nice and straight. So So how this is going to work, you're going to lift the hips straight up first, establish that side dip position, coming back down. Then you pull the belly into your core. You can start with the knees bent, pulling the legs in towards the chest, and you come back to that dip, lifting up onto that side plank. And then if the bent knees felt okay, you can go straight legs. Just make sure you don't have any pinching in the back. So ready, and here we go. Establish the side plank, up into the dip, and then sit back. Either bent legs or straight legs, reaching your hand towards your toes. Good. Try to pause at each position. Hold the dip, and then back. Belly pulled in, reach for those toes. Good. Just find your rhythm here. Making sure you lift up out of that downside shoulder. Good. Excellent. First 30 seconds. Fantastic. Anytime you need a break, just take it. Otherwise, try to move fluid through this pattern. We're over halfway, just under 30 seconds left. Good. Up out of that downside shoulder, rolling over, pulling those toes high. 1 minute in, 15 seconds left. Up and squeeze, establish that plank. Over and lift. Good, maybe one more time. Lift up, sit back, and rest. Good job. From here, we're gonna roll onto your stomach. So lying face down. We're going to start with the arms at the sides, chin in, and when you're ready, you're going to keep your legs on the ground for now. Lift the upper body up, still looking down, and think about pushing the air straight up towards the ceiling, squeezing the bum, and then relaxing down when you're ready. Same idea here. We're going to work for 1 minute 15. When we get about halfway through, I'm going to change the position of the hands. And your call on how long you hold these positions. The key is to activate the back side of the body. If you want to start to lift the legs off the ground as well, point those toes, fire the bum, and down and relax. You really want to avoid any kind of pinching into that low back. So think about lengthening through the spine as you raise up and rest. Good. You can either keep the hands where they are. If you want a little extra challenge, bring the hands behind the head. Lift and squeeze, pulling those shoulder blades back in together, and then down and relax. Pull that chin in, looking straight down at your mat as you lift up off the floor. Woo. Good, we're over 1 minute in, 10 seconds left. See how long you want to hold, squeeze, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Let's drop back into child's position again. Give that low back a little bit of a rest. Toes together, knees divide, push straight back, lower the head down. Spend about 2 to 3 breaths here, and then we're going to make our way onto your right elbow for our side plank dip on that side. Good. When you're ready, come on up. Let's make our way into position. Check in. Make sure that elbow is in a good spot. You want to have it just underneath the shoulder. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hips high to start. And sink back. Pull those feet up. Good. Sharon, I'd recommend bent knees. Pull the knees in with a bent leg. Nice and smooth. There you go. Up and lift, hold, and then down. Either knees to the chest, reaching for the toes, or straight legs, reaching for the toes. Good. Can't move smooth with those straight legs. Just pull them in bent. So I'm doing every other one bent here, every other one straight, just as a demonstration. Up and hold. Excellent. There you go. Good. Taking your time. Nice. Almost through our minute. Working for 1 minute 15 here. So good amount of time, working some endurance to that midline. Establish that position. There's our minute. We have 15 seconds left. Good. Way to hold that side plank position. Excellent. And last one, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good work. Instead of back on the belly, we're coming back to all fours, hands and knees. Bird dog is next, or quadruped knee to elbow. So really splay the hand, place those hands down. You're in a good position here. We want to keep that belly pulled in. And then when you're ready, we're going to start with the left arm and the right leg. 2, 1, here we go. You hold solid through the midline, stretch them long, and then lift up through the middle as you pull that elbow towards the knee. Breathe in, stretch long, point the toes, squeeze the glute. Exhale, pull it together. Inhale, reach. We're going 45 seconds on each side. Really focus here not to have any rotation through the torso. Stay as square as you can as you move. A couple more. Stretch it out. Pull it together. And get ready to switch sides. Come off the hands for a second. About 10 seconds in between. Just kind of shake out the arms. All right, and then let's come on back down. Nice wide handprint. Now we're going to be your left hand and right leg. 2, 1, here we go. Belly pulled in. Extend as long as you can from the tips of your fingers, the tips of the toes, and then elbow to the knee under the body. Breathe in, reach long. Good. Exhale, pull it together. Inhale, reach, looking straight down towards your mat. Good. Training the spine here to be able to resist rotational patterns. Help prevent injuries, help keep that midline nice and strong. Good, 10 seconds left. Get about 2 more cycles. Reach long, smooth together. Last one. Breathe in, stretch it out. Exhale, bring it in. And rest. Awesome. If your water bottle is nearby, let's grab a quick drink. We're going to go through that series one more time, starting back on your left arm, side plank dip. All right. 10 seconds till we begin. As you make your way back into position, set the elbow underneath the shoulder, lengthen out the legs. Remember, either straight legs or bent legs. 2, 1, here we go. Straight up. Establish that plank. Sit back and go knees to the chest, reaching for the toes. Lift. Yeah. Or straight legs, lifting for the toes. Good. If you choose to go straight legs, you should not feel any strain in the low back. Beautiful. Every time, establish that position, really lifting up out of that downside shoulder. Wonderful. Breathing consistent. 45 seconds in, 30 seconds left. Up and hold. Down and tuck it together. Nice. Final 15 seconds. That's our minute mark. Very good. Maybe one more rep up into that dip. Pausing there. And then long legs or bent legs, pulling it together. Fantastic. When you finish that, back to the stomach. Flying flies and superhumans. Activating the back side of the body without any pinching in the low back. Here we go. Starting with those palms up. 2, 1, and begin. Chin in. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Point the toes. Fire the bum. Good. Holding as long as you're confident. Down and relax. And when you're ready, squeeze the glutes. Pull that chin in like you're trying to go. Just lift off your mats. Awesome. At a minute 15 here, just practicing that position, resting as often as you need. 30 seconds done. Also really want to engage the arms where I'm just thinking about actively spreading the fingers, pushing the palm to the sky, activate the muscles in that mid back. Awesome job. 30 seconds left. You want to adjust those arms. You can bring the hands behind the head. Squeezing the elbows together. Not literally, but you're trying to imagine, you're trying to bring your elbows together behind the head. Pull them up, squeeze them tight. Whew, all right, 10 seconds left. Final hold, breathe here, lengthen. Imagine someone's pulling from the top of the head, bottoms of the feet, and rest. Whew, good job. Back into child's position. Loosen up that low back. And this time, turn the palms up. So bring your little fingers together and then palms up and drop back from there. Good, 3 breaths. And then we'll make our way to the right side for those side planks. Good, when you're ready, just making your way onto your right side. We're gonna start here in 10 seconds. So pull that elbow in. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Hips straight up. Squeeze and pause, down, either knees into the chest or straight legs. The straight leg, try to point those toes, reach them nice and long. Good. Very good. Good to see the kitty cats getting involved here. Hanging out. Fantastic. That's 30 seconds in, 45 to go. Stay focused. We tend to drop into this downside shoulder when we start to get fatigued. So think about pushing through, lifting up, trying to lengthen from top of the shoulder or elbow to fingertips. They reach up to overhead. Nice. There you go. 20 seconds left. Bird dogs after this. We'll be all done with this core series. Woo. Oh, maybe one more cycle up into that plank when you're ready. And then one more time, pulling the legs in towards the chest and rest. Good job. Making your way back to all fours. We're going to kind of roll out the wrist for a second. We'll start here in 10 seconds. All right, and remember, we always talk about widen the hands to give some break on the wrist. So you have all those arches of the hands. You want to use those to support the wrist. All right, let's start with your left hand and right leg. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Point the toes, reach the hand, and then lift up. Exhale as you pull that elbow to the knee. Breathe in. Try to breathe in through the nose and then gently out through the mouth. Very good. That's 30 seconds done, 15 left, staying focused. Make sure you're not overarching. Good, a couple more. Stretch long, point, reach, bring it together, and take a rest off the hands. Come on up, shake it out. All right. Last one here. Stay with us. Wide handprint. Now we're on to your right hand and left leg. 2, 1. Here we go. Long spine position here. Breathe in, reach long, spread the fingers, point the toes. Exhale, lifting up, point it in. Great. Very nice. We're over 30 seconds in, about 10 seconds left. Stay tight, staying long. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and bring it onto your back. We're going to do a couple stretches, and then we'll take it up to our feet. So gradually lower yourself back and down. And we're going to start with our double kneaded chest. So hug both legs in and rock your body side to side. Good. From double knee to chest, we'll take it into our 2-knee twist. Take your arms out to the side, legs stay together. You bring both legs to one side, look over that opposite shoulder as far as you're comfortable here. And then midline strong, bring them up and across, keep those knees together and turn the head, looking over the other way. Let's get one more on each side. Looking a little downhill here. All right, we're getting ready for some single-arm sumo deadlifts and some push-up practice in our next series with a little bit of stretching each time. Fantastic. All right. Once you finish this 2-knee twist, knees bent, feet flat. Let's go 5 glute bridges. Help open the front of the hips, get a little bit more activation for the back side of the body. So when you're ready, just nice and gradual, raise those hips up, squeeze the glutes, hold for about 2 to 3 seconds at the top, and then gradually lower down. Like I said, 5 reps here. Control down, push through your feet, raise those hips up, squeeze the glutes. Very nice. If you're comfortable to do so, look to get a little bit higher each time, Sharon. So hips up just a little higher, pull the chin in towards the chest. Very good. And obviously, if you are keeping your bridge a little bit lower due to some pinching in the back or the front of the hip, then just ignore my cue to go higher. You're doing the right thing by listening to your body. All right, maybe one more here. Fantastic. We're gonna make our way over. Let's go ahead and push in a down dog, and then we'll make our way up to standing. So turn those toes under, drive those hips high, push the head between the arms. You want to imagine you're trying to touch your heart towards your thighs as you pull that chin in towards your chest. Very good. And then go ahead and come on forward onto your hands, and let's stretch those calves. Lower one heel down, and then walk it out, bring the other heel down. Nice. Sink step to side. Other side. Good. Maybe one more time on each. Lower it down and switch. Once you finish that calf stretch, then we'll sumo inchworm our way up. So feet maybe a little bit wider. Walk the hands in, walk the feet in. As you go to stand up, if you're comfortable to do so, just take a little bit longer in this forward fold, reaching down for the toes, breathing into your back. And then when you feel ready, you'll gradually push through your feet, turn those hips under, and make your way on up to standing. Fantastic. All righty. And then once you're up to standing, let's go into a side stretch next. Soft bend in those knees, hand on the hip. We're just going to reach up to overhead, stretch nice and long, and go ahead and turn your gaze up towards your hands. Holding here for about 3 cycles of breathing into wherever you feel that tension. For me, it's right here along that rib cage. And when you're ready, go ahead and switch. Same thing, other side, keeping that soft bend, reaching up and over, turning the gaze towards the hand, and breathing here for about 5 cycles, not 5, 3 cycles. Turning the head up towards the sky. And come on out. Very good. From there, let's get a little bit more blood flow from standing. Side step, arm swing, open up the chest. I'm going to grab my hat. We got some bright sunshine today. Fantastic. And then as you finish that side step arm swing, let's go ahead and stretch out the quads. So lifting on, up and in, work that balance, shoulders back and down. Grab that one foot. Beautiful. Pull the heel towards the glute. There you go. Soft bend in the knee, chest up. Looks great. 10 more seconds. Good. Keep pulling up, hips level. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Set that foot down. Same thing, other side. Up and in, shoulders back. Grab that opposite foot. And here we go, holding solid. Opposite leg quad stretch. Good. Smile as you balance. Keep driving that thigh back. And 3, 2, 1, and release there. Good work. We're going to warm up some good mornings next. Kind of say hello to those hamstrings. So you're going to have your feet about hip width apart, all the toes pointing straight ahead. go ahead and bring your hands behind the head, pull that midsection in, and then we're gonna go long spine here, setting the hips back, bowing forward, looking down towards the floor, and then drive through your feet. Squeeze the glutes, standing straight up. Excellent, 5 times there. Long spine, bowing down. Fantastic, and stand. Good. So this is a good warm up here, practicing that hinging pattern for the single arm deadlifts that we have coming up. Straight up and down. Good, flat back, long spine, and soft bend of the knees throughout. Beautiful. Last one. Over and straight up. Fantastic. All right, behind the back stretch. Open up that chest a little bit more. Interlace the hands, pull the shoulders back. And I've walked my feet outside those hips. We'll take it into a forward fold. Long spine, hips back, pull those arms straight up to overhead. 2 to 3 breathing cycles here. Try to breathe right between those shoulder blades. Awesome. On that next inhale, come on back to the top. Beautiful. Let's grab a drink of water. Whatever weight that you want to start with, something light to moderate. This will be our first of 3 rounds. And as I mentioned, it's a single arm deadlift. All right, so you're gonna set that weight down right between the legs. And now we are gonna walk the feet just a little bit wider. So when we were doing those good mornings, we had our toes close. Being the weights between our legs, you're gonna set the feet a bit wider from there. Soften the knees, midline tight. When you're ready, we're gonna bow forward, grab onto that weight with one hand, standing straight up. Yep, and then we're gonna control it down and switch hands. Now I'm using a kettlebell here, so it doesn't go as close to the floor as it may if it's a dumbbell. If you are using a dumbbell, you can set it vertically so it sits like on the side of the dumbbell, okay? Or you don't have to go all the way to the ground. You can just bow forward, switch hands right about the level of your knees, and then stand from there. Excellent. Over, switch, and up. Good. We do all that midline work before we start to activate that core. So you can hold strong here as you're picking up this weight. Excellent. Over, switch, and up. Good. Shouldn't feel any kind of pull in the low back. Very nice. That's our first minute. We're going 1:15 here, but if you're like, okay, that's enough for me, just take a pause. We have 3 rounds, so a little bit longer intervals than we have been accustomed to. 1 more rep, straight up, squeeze, and control down. Beautiful. Set your weight out of the way and make your way down to the floor or elevated surface for push-ups. All right, Michigan, behave yourself. Coming on down. Over here, Michigan. You're gonna take a nice wide handprint. And when you're ready, instead of winging those elbows wide, bringing them back and down, you want to come all the way down to the chest, either coming off the toes, or you can come to the knees to come up, driving straight up from there. Okay, you can also do knee push-ups all the way down, all the way up. If you're in position where you're like, I'm not quite ready to push off the ground without it bothering my shoulders, roll to one arm and then push up off the forearm. You'll still come down under control, and then I'd go to the opposite side, roll to the forearm, coming on up. We call it like a rolling push-up, building strength on this control of the down, and then one arm and up. Very good. Maybe 1 more rep here, folks. Over, up, and rest. Awesome job. All right, before we hop back up to those deadlifts, we're gonna get some rotational work for the mid-back. So we're gonna start on hands and knees. Walk those knees right about hip width apart. Let's start with your right hand behind the head. You're gonna bring your elbow to that opposite elbow, and we're gonna lift up, rotate, peer up towards the sky. Good. Elbow to the elbow, and lift and rotate. Let's get 5 on each side. Breathe in as you close that elbow to the elbow. Exhale as you rotate. Awesome, that open position. And then after 5 cycles, same thing, other arm. Breathing in and exhale. Hold that rotated position. 5 times here. Good. After this last one, gradually make our way back up to our feet. We have 30 seconds until we start our second of 3 rounds. Great job. So come on up, grab a drink, make any adjustments that you'd like with your weights. Hound dog. Very good. All right, friends, 10 seconds till we begin round 2. Again, we're going to go single arm deadlifts. We have 1:15 to practice this motion. Soft bend those knees, check in with that midline. And here we go. Right between the legs, standing straight up, squeeze the glutes, bowing down, keeping it close to the body. Belly pulled in as you lower, switch, and standing tall. Very nice. 1 rep at a time here, good focus. You don't ever want to feel like you're trying to like yank the weight off the ground, but it's more of a controlled lift where the body all is tight and you move as a unit. Nice and strong, hips square. Good. That's 45 seconds, 30 seconds left if you're going the whole time. Activating that upper body, pulling that shoulder back and in, keeping that weight close to your center of gravity. Fantastic. That's 1 minute, 15 seconds left. Squeeze, stand tall. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Transitioning to push-ups. All right. We'll take 45 seconds here to practice these push-ups. Wide handprint, midline strong. When you're ready, keep those elbows tight to the sides as you lower down, either on the toes, knees, or that rolling option to one arm. The rolling, you're coming all the way down. It's one of the most common faults we see of the push-up, arching the back as we push up off the mat. And what are the other ones? Elbows flying wide, shoulders rolling forward. So you want to keep the shoulders back. Shortened range of motion is common as well. You'll see people just kind of moving through the shorter range of motion. Build that strength all the way, being able to lay on your chest, squeeze the body, and pushing up. 2, 1, and there's our pause. Woo. All right, nice work. Let's do those rotation patterns again. You can either stay on the hand, or if you want to go a little bit deeper into the rotation, you'll come down to the forearm. From here, hand behind the head, elbow comes to meet that other elbow, and then you rotate, peer over the shoulder. Breathe in to close, exhale as you rotate. 5 per arm. Good. Switch sides when you're ready. Breathe in, elbow to elbow. Exhale, send the air out of the lungs to get a little bit more rotation. We work that rotation through the rib cage, that mid-back area, to help keep our low back happy, our upper spine and neck happy. When we lose the ability to rotate, we end up having compensations in the above it and below it. All right, we'll push back into down dog as we make our way back up to our feet. Ah, fantastic. Grab a quick drink and we'll get started here again in just under 30 seconds. What is Moose doing over here? You barking at your stick. Oh my goodness, Moose. Oh, say hi. Oh, golly. Oh, puppy love. 10 seconds, friends. Final rounds. He's pretty good at entertaining himself, especially when I don't have a long ponytail for him to chase. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Bowing down. Squeeze those glutes. And you're keeping it close to the body. So if you're going all the way to the floor, you're setting it down right between the feet. and stand. Our hound dog wants to come join the classes and play. I think. Anyone an animal communicator? That's 30 seconds in, 45 to go. It's our third and final round. This is all the hinging that we have left for the day. So stay tight, stay focused. Wonderful. We're almost to our minute mark. Start to feel the backside fire. Squeeze the glutes. That's our minute. 15 seconds to go. Good. Balance it out. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. Final set of push-ups. All right, when you're ready, set those hands just underneath the shoulders. Set the feet and begin. Control to the chest. They're on the toes, on the knees, or the rolling version. Whatever you choose, you want to keep your body stiff as a board. Just have the movement be in your upper body through those arms. Shoulder blades pull back, driving up. Nice. That's 30 seconds, 15 to go. That's great, Sharon. Good. Nice and tight. Yeah, pull the belly in a little stronger as you push off the ground. Let's see, one more here. Control down. Awesome work. And drive. Very good. There's our rest. All right, our final set of rotational pieces. This time we're going to come back to hands and knees, and you're going to turn your palm up, set it on the low back. From here, you're going to think about taking the side that you have the hand on the low back, think about bringing that shoulder towards the opposite elbow. You're not going to literally touch it, and then you're going to lift up and rotate from there. So lifting up out of that downside shoulder, dip that shoulder in, and then rotate here up towards the ceiling or sky 5 times here. Breathe in to close. Exhale to open. Just very subtle changes as we change up the upper body position. Good, maybe one more. Down, up, rotate, and same thing other side. Sweet boy. Again, hand on the low back, palm up towards the ceiling, dip that shoulder in, lift and rotate. Kind of breathe in through the nose, gently out through the mouth. One or two more. Fantastic. Before we jump up, let's go child's position side stretch. You're going to bring the toes together, divide the knees, walk your hands over to your right side. You'll take your left hand, reach it long, and then square your hips, lower yourself back. Good, couple breaths there. Then when you're ready, walk the hands to the opposite side, over towards your left. Now your right hand reaches long, square the hips and lower back from there. Almost. Very good. All right, friends, we're going to make our way on up in this next series. If you have a bench or a chair, we're going to be doing dips to start the circuit. 30 seconds of a dip. Then we're going to have our uneven carry. So whether you want to hold a heavier weight at your side, a little bit lighter weight up at your shoulder. We're going to go 4 rounds of this uneven carry. Then we come down for our mountain climbers. We'll come back to our feet, uneven carry on the other side, jumping jacks or some rebounding or just rest in between rounds. Every exercise is 30 seconds. And we're going to go 4 rounds. So every other round, I'm going to start with the front rack position. And if I'm feeling up for it, I might hold an overhead with the farmers on rounds 2 and 4 for a little extra challenge. All right, so let's go ahead and come into position. We'll have 15 seconds in between exercises. and we'll go ahead and start with the dips. So grab a drink. We're going to start here in 30 seconds for round 1 of 4. And you're going to want to have a moderate to heavy weight that you can hold at your side and a medium to light weight that you can hold at the shoulders. Alrighty. 10 seconds. So as you come into position for the dips, sit tall, pull the shoulders back, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. Similar to those push-ups, you don't want to wing the elbows out, and then we're going to lift the chest to the top, shoulders back and down. So where I kind of play that little imagination game, and I'm trying to make some orange juice. Got those little mini oranges in my armpits. At the top, I want to kind of rotate the elbows in a little bit and just squeeze, lift the chest, and lock it out. You don't need to hyperextend the elbows, but you just want to come into that full extension, lifting the chest. Go ahead, maybe one more. And up and rotate. Good. As you come to standing, we're going to our uneven carry next. So in your left hand, you're going to hold the heavier weight. In the right hand, you're going to hold the lighter weight. 2, 1, and begin. You can either just hold it stationary, or you can march, moving around your space. This upper arm, elbow forward, people tend to wing it out. Make sure it's pointing straight forward. And same thing with the down arm. Instead of the palm rotating back, rotate that palm forward so the shoulder sets back. Nice. Breathe in, moving steady, getting ready for mountain climbers next. And 3, 2, 1, transition. Set the weights down. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Coming on down to the floor. Take a nice deep breath. Ready, begin. So on these mountain climbers, I just want to see the movement through the hips. Just driving the knees straight up towards the same side elbow. We'll vary it up on the next couple of rounds, bringing the knees across the body. Keep pulling that belly in so the hips don't drop down. No arching the back. 10 seconds left. Exhale as you drive that knee up. And rest. Woo, good job making your way back up to the standing. Now you're going to pick up your heavier weight in your right hand, lighter weight in the left. Get ready to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Remember to point that elbow forward and rotate the palm forward on that heavier arm. Very good. Chest up, eyes forward. Moose, please don't bite my feet. Good job. 10 seconds left. Hey, nope. Good job. Thank you. Eyes up, holding strong. Pull that chin in as well. Keep that upper body nice and neutral. And there's our rest. Woo! Set them down. You're gonna take this full rest break here, or if you feel like doing a little bit of bouncing, nice and light on the feet, just kind of shake the body. You can jump straight up and down, or a little side to side here. Good. This little bit of bouncing is really helpful for our lymphatic system. It's basically the sewer system of our body, helps clear out our immune system, keep our body nice and strong, and rest. It doesn't move unless we move our body, so we need movement for that lymph system. All right, 20 seconds until we start our second of 4 rounds. So grab a drink and head back to your dips. Sit nice and tall, lift through the chest, pull those shoulders back. Ready, here we go. Elbows in, lift, squeeze. You can go all the way to that glute bridge if you want, but we did quite a bit of hip work today, so I prefer just to kind of focus on that upper body right now. Sinking in, lifting up. You want to keep those shoulders down out of the ears. Breathe in to lower, exhale as you drive tall. And rest. Excellent. Coming on up. Heavier weight in your left hand, lighter weight in your right. I'm gonna just go a little bit lighter than the last round. I'm gonna try an overhead hold on this one. 2, 1, here we go. So you can keep it at the front rack, or you can take it all the way up to overhead. That's gonna be a bigger challenge. Make sure you don't start to arch the back, so still pulling the ribs in. Woo! There you go, nice and strong. 10 seconds left. All right, that definitely challenges the body. 2, 1, and rest. Set it down, making your way to the floor for our mountain climbers. Ghosts, out of the garden, come on. All right, wide handprints, making your way into those mountain climbers. Here we go. Holding your hips square, and now we're bringing the knees across the body. Every other round, we're gonna go knees towards the opposite elbow. Still holding tight through the center. Exhaling as you drive that knee up. Awesome, 10 seconds left. Keep that breathing going. And rest. Woo! All right, 15 seconds. We're back to our carry on the opposite side. Heavier weight in your right hand, lighter weight in your left. Ready, begin. Palm forward on the heavier weight, either elbow forward or straight up to overhead on that lighter weight. Staying tight, staying tall, halfway. Nice job. All right, almost there. And take a rest. Woo! All right, working that postural strength there. As soon as you set your weights down, some rebounding. And make sure you're nice and relaxed through your feet here. So I'm not staying high on my toes. I'm relaxing those heels down. And you technically can even keep your ball of the foot on the ground the whole time and just do a really light bounce. Good, less than 10 seconds. And pause. Nice work. Grab a drink. We'll be back to it in 15 seconds. Round 3 of 4 coming up next. All right, tall chest, shoulders pulled back. Round 3 starts now. Trying to sink the shoulders below the elbows, or at least to the distance of those elbows. Lift the chest. Good control. Breathe into lower. Exhale as you drive out. Nice. 10 seconds. Two, one, rotate, getting ready for those carries. Heavier weight in your left arm, lighter weight in your right. I'm gonna go back to what we call that front rack. Hold it at the shoulder. And here we go. Palm forward, elbow forward. Pulling that shoulder back because we tend to kind of lose it for that heavier weight. So set it back and down. Get that elbow up and forward. Nice. And also focus on keeping those hips nice and level as you lift the knees, lift the foot and toes, and rest break. Good work. Mountain climbers, second to last set. Coming on down. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, hi, Moose. Can you help me climb the mountain? We're going back to the same side of the body, knee towards the same side elbow. We'll go across the body on our 4th and final round. Nice strong exhale as you power that knee up. Woo! Almost there. And rest. Thanks, Moose. Oh, Moose Bear. Coming back up for our carry. Heavier weight in your right hand, lighter weight in your left. 2, 1, and begin. March it out, Moose. Very nice. See, I tend to kind of go wide with that elbow, so you got to be intentional. Keep it forward. Palm forward on the other hand. Good. When we do these weighted carries, it builds our core strength, helps our posture. Almost done. And rest. Good work. Just the reboundings to finish set 3. We'll be into our 4th and final round. Very good. Really soft on the feet here. Just a nice little bounce. There you go. Good. Another 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, we're almost there, friends. Grab a drink. We'll start that 4th and final round in 20 seconds. All right, final set of dips. Make your way. Tall chest. Set those shoulders and begin. As you start to get tired, focus in. Pay attention to that movement. Squeeze those elbows together. Not literally, right? But you want to think about drawing them together as you go down. Lift the chest as you push out. Last round, last rep there, and rotate. Coming back to the carries. Heavier weight in your left hand, lighter weight in your right. If you want that extra challenge, we'll go overhead with that right arm. 2, 1, begin. So either overhead or what we call that front rack. Excellent job. Last round. Staying tight, staying tall. Fantastic overhead position there. Woo! Keep pulling those ribs down and in. Rest break comes now. Final mountain climbers. Down to all fours. Take a nice deep breath. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Set the feet, and here we go. Across the body this time. Knee towards the opposite elbow. Exhale as you drive. Little to no movement through that upper head and neck area. Shoulders should be pretty stationary. Just driving the knee across. 10 seconds. Keep lifting up to that mid body, lifting up out of the shoulders. And done there. Woo, come on up for that final carry. Heavier weight in your right hand, lighter weight in your left. Ready. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Palms slightly forward on that heavier weight. Chin in, pushing tall. We've got less than a minute total of work here. We're going to set it down when we finish this carry and finish with that rebounding. Halfway, 15 seconds left on this carry. Woo! Good. Sharon, push that weight a little higher or bring it down to the shoulder. There you go. 2, 1, and rest there. Awesome job. Set it down, and we have 30 seconds left for a little bit of light bouncing here. There you go. Try to keep that upper body relaxed. I found myself kind of shrugging up into the ears. Final 10 seconds. And we are all done. Well done. Woo, give yourself a round of applause. Virtual high fives. All right, friends. Just have about a minute or 2 here. So we're going to do a short cool down stretch. You want to stay for the next class? We'll be doing some stretching there if you have the time. But let's first just kind of stretch out our back of our body with a traditional Jefferson curl toe touch. So soft bend in the knees, pull the chin into the chest, draw that belly in, and you're gonna slide the hands down, reaching down for the toes. And just take some nice deep cleansing breaths into the back, expanding the back of the body. And then on your exhale, drop a little bit lower. Okay, one more breath. And nice and slow here, gradually make your way up to the top. Fantastic. All right, and then from here, we'll just do some standing rotations. You're gonna turn your torso to one side, kind of grab the arm, pull it across, nice and light, and then same thing other way. Let's go once more each way. Breathe in as you come to center, and then gently exhale as you rotate. Good. And then last one, we'll do our snow globe toe touches. So you're gonna reach those arms up to overhead, soft bend those knees, and you're gonna make 3 nice big sweeping circles, imagining that your body's in that snow globe and you're just tracing the perimeter of your globe. Just kind of feeling where your body's holding some tension. Engage those glutes as you reach up to overhead. After you've completed 3 circles that way, then taking it around, same thing other side. All right, and as we come to finish up this hour, for those of you that have been here with us for a while, you know a lot of the stretches. So whether you do them right now or later on throughout the day, practice listening for your body to talk to you, saying like, hey, this is kind of stiff, this is kind of sore. Movement is your friend. Help keep your body moving, keep your body happy and healthy. As always, stay hydrated, eat some vegetables, and we'll see you next time.